All right. And there we go. Let's give things a moment for folks. And let's just have it out. I was just on LinkedIn, and I'm usually a fan of LinkedIn. So I'm not bashing LinkedIn. Let's be real clear. I'm not bashing LinkedIn. I'm not bashing X. I'm not really bashing Facebook either. They're not my favorite, but I'm not bashing them. Here is my thing. I keep running into people all the time saying, oh, I saw this or I saw that, or boy, you've been really busy lately. You got a lot of content. How would I know that? How would I know that other than you telling me? Because I'm not seeing it in the likes, the shares, the subscriptions, any of that stuff. Now, before I sound like I'm just complaining and not doing anything, I wanted to put this out for people. And this is one of those things where if I hurt some feelings, I hurt some feelings. I spend a lot of time, spend a lot of time going through my feed and going, oh, hey, this was from Motorcycle Industry Jobs, like, share, repost, right? This is from WP Tonic, like, share, repost. This is from Lifter LMS, like, share, repost, right? Put a little comment on the repost, right? When it says repost or quote, put in quote and say, oh, this was awesome, or this is whatever, and reshare it, redo it, right? You're in a position where you may have seen me do that for you a bunch of times. And then you might realize, hey, I haven't seen Kurt share my stuff in a while. Ask yourself a question. When was the last time you reciprocated? When was the last time that you played the game, that you got involved? Folks, I'm connected to 10,000 people on LinkedIn. Out of those 10,000 people, I'm going to find my tribe. I'm going to find the people that are going to like, share, follow, repost. It's important. You think it's not important, but it is important. And I've always been generous in this way. And I caught myself years and years and years of, share on Facebook, repost on LinkedIn, reshare, repost, whatever it is on what I think Instagram does it too, right? They all have some way to help propagate someone's information. In fact, I used to take people's posts that I thought were like really pivotal, and I would put those into my newsletters that I would then mass email out to my audience. I would say, hey, here was a really interesting post from Lifter LMS this week. And I would put it in there and off it would go. Okay, so you might be thinking to yourself, if you own one of these properties and you go, hey, people used to like and share my stuff, but I'm just not seeing that as much. It's because you didn't do it. You didn't reciprocate. It's mind-boggling to me that so many people are in this space and they think, well, if I just keep pumping out the content, it's going to do its magic. No, the content's only part of it. There's a whole social side to social media, right? So there's social media, and there's a whole social side that goes to the media. Now, I don't care whether you're using some AI tools or you're doing some fancy thing. I still do it organically. I like to see what I'm sharing. I like to see what I'm reposting. Sometimes it's a comment from the heart. Hey, this was really cool, or I remember this when. But again, I'm going to stress, there were tons of people that I would constantly reshare, relink for, do things for, that I just don't do anymore because they were dead. They were dead inside. They didn't participate. They didn't do things back. And so without calling you out by name, if that's you, no shame in the game, Just get with the program. Be like, hey, Kurt posted something. I'm going to repost that. I'm going to share that. I'm going to like it. I'm going to whatever. That's great, right? That's awesome. Hey, we start to see some of that activity, we jump back in with you. I am really, really big on this. I think that this is really, really important. And for some reason, a lot of people, like I said, on LinkedIn alone, I'm connected to over 10,000 people. So if I'm connected to 10,000 people and I'm not getting 2,500 shares, reposts, likes, follows from things, that tells me people aren't playing the game. It is definitely a game. We need to help each other get further along in this whole thing that we do. I want to put the spotlight on someone that nails it. I mean, that absolutely nails it. There is this lady in our town. Her name is Sarah. Now, she had a son that overcame cancer and stuff like that. And so periodically, if I'm talking to my spouse, she'll say, Sarah, Sarah who? Which Sarah? What Sarah? And I'll say, oh, Sansa, the cancer lady, Sarah the cancer lady. That's not the best way to refer to somebody at all, right? But let's take a look. And Sarah McClure McMillan. Sarah McClure McMillan has an energy level that is up here. So she goes to the coffee shop, she runs into people in person and says, oh, you're doing anything on the internet? You need to talk to Kurt Von Ahnen. He's an expert. He is the town's expert on internet website stuff. And then people tell me, oh, I ran into this lady, Sarah. She was singing your praises at the store, man. Like, that is the energy that we're looking for, not just at the store, but we're looking for that everywhere, online, everywhere. I could go through her Facebook feed right now and show you where I'm tagged. I'm tagged. Oh, my goodness. 7, 8, 10 times in the last 2 weeks. Kurt, you need to meet this person. Kurt, this person needs help with a website. Hey, Kurt, what do you think about this? What do you think about this new AI tool? And it's in there. And Messenger. I'm getting Messenger from her like crazy. Now, I just said I'm connected to like 10,000 people on LinkedIn. How many am I connected to on Facebook? It used to be the 5,000 limit, and then I went and unfriended a ton of people. Yeah, 2,000. I got 2,000 people on Facebook. Twitter, between the different accounts I have in Twitter, there's another 8,000 or 9,000 people. So do I want DMs and messages from everybody? No, I couldn't possibly deal with that much coming in. But here's my point. Sarah puts up a thing about photography. She's a photographer. So she puts up a thing about photography. I like it. I share it. I put a comment on it. She had one that was like taking pictures organically in a wheat field somewhere. And I was like, how cool to get your picture taken face to face, hand to hand, in person, and not use AI to make your headshot. Boom. Exclamation point. See Sarah. Right? Like, obviously, I'm going to support Sarah because Sarah is obviously supporting me. Now, if she was some crazy wackadoo that had some non-value driven business, I would have to kind of like reset myself and go, oh, okay, well, I'm not really seeing the value in that, Sarah. You know what? And then I would ask her, here's what I do that's different from other people. I just had a first meeting with someone I met through Giver Marketing. And in this first meeting, she was like, well, I do marketing and I do this and I do that. I said, let's get to brass tacks on this call. What is it that I can do to help you? What is it that I can do to help you promote your message? Tell me, what is it? What are you looking for? Because I needed to see where was her value at? What was the value proposition? What was she promoting? What is it that I could help her spread a message with? That's what I'm trying to communicate here. At Mañana No Mas, I make it really easy. Go to the mañananomas.com website. You're going to see the TLDR section. That's going to say, here's what we are, here's what we do, these are the services, bam, like bullet points. And then we got pages and pages to support those bullet points. But right there on the homepage, bullet points. We're a business consulting agency. Our output is generally a website. Sometimes it's training material. Sometimes it's leadership talks. Sometimes it's process development or, or curriculum development. But again, I go back to the main phrase of that. We are a business consultation agency. And generally, our output ends up being a website. It's amazing how many people come to us for a website, and it turns out what they really need is process development. What they really need is better onboarding for staff. What they really need is a training product to onboard people at scale, right? That's not the website. That's not the marketing piece they thought they were coming to us for. But because we're a business consultant first, we have the conversation with them, and we do the needs assessment, and we go, hey, let's not put the cart before the horse. You got some housekeeping to do here before you actually launch a website. Why don't we put some of these processes in writing for you? Why don't we generate some curriculum to better onboard new staff that comes in so you're not spending all your time and labor dollars on training people? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? And then when all that is in place, then we can say, oh, hey, you know what? That website, probably a great idea. Now that you have some efficiencies in place and processes in place, and we know what your message is meant to be, we can propagate that for you through a website and through maybe community development, right? Maybe through community, maybe through online e-learning, all kinds of options. But that's the thing. What do? How do we drive value? Boom. Like, share, follow, subscribe, all those things. I literally have hundreds of videos on YouTube. So I'm on Rumble right now. And this is the reason why I'm on Rumble. In case anyone's saying, hey, why is Kurt going so hot and heavy on Rumble all of a sudden? I'm going to sign into my YouTube in another tab over here. And I've got multiple accounts. So I've got, on the old Kurt Von Onen account, because before I knew about branding, I did everything under my own name. I had a ton of videos in here. Where does it tell you how many videos you've got? Hundreds, literally hundreds. I've got 300 videos on the Kurt Von Onen account. Okay, but now let me switch accounts, and I'll go to the Mañana No Mas account. Now that's once I understood about branding, right? So I have a Power Sport Academy channel. I have a Mañana No Mas channel. I've got things kind of figured out now, right? So if we go to content there, 1 to 6 of 6 rows per page, 30. Is that what I'm looking at? 50. Let me redo that. That's 180, looks like 180 videos in there. And I don't even think that's counting the lives, because the lives, yeah, it's crazy. I have all those videos done. Now, here's the killer. If I go to take a look, there's more videos than that. Hold on. I'm up to 99 subscribers now, so that's great. 455. Yeah, I thought so. 455 videos in the Mañana No Mas account. And then in live videos, there's 669 there. So I've got over 1,000 videos in the Mañana No Mas account. 1,000 videos, 100 subscribers. So at least I think that's where I'm at now. So I'm not angry. Like, I got to keep telling people, hey, I'm not angry. I'm not super pissed. When you put good energy towards something over and over, 99 subscribers. So I have 99 subscribers. And sure enough, it does say 1,200 videos. 1,200 videos. 1,200 videos I've made on YouTube, and I've got 99 subscribers. And so there's some real obvious problems there. And you've seen it. If you've been watching me on Rumble so far, you've seen the teething. You've seen it. I didn't know the camera wasn't on, or I didn't know that the bumper was still playing. I didn't know how to turn the trailer on. Like, I'm getting there. I'm using this OBS studio. I'm picking up the pace, and I'm learning quick. So stick with me, because the content's going to get great. But we've got a Mañana No Mas channel already. We've got a Living the Agency Life channel. We've got things moving in Rumble that are going in the right direction. So I'm really happy about all of that. But 1,200 videos, 100 subscribers on YouTube. I'm looking for something better here. I'm looking for like, share, follow, subscribe. Like, share, follow, subscribe. And again, if you have been on the receiving end from me for the last 4-5 years plus, where I'm always sharing, always liking, always promoting, always putting something forward for your message, for your brand, for your whatever, and all of a sudden you start to see, hey, he's not liking and sharing like he used to. That's a sign that you didn't come back to the game. You just didn't come back to the game, and the free ride's over. You know, we're not charging people for this stuff. It's not money, but it's something better than money. It's a relationship. Cool. Talk to you guys later. Have a great